everyone, and welcome to Dream Team. I'm Alice Langlois.
And I'm Trent Lenkarski.
And we're on episode 10.
Woo! The big 10, double digits.
I know, we should have made this a special episode, I guess, but
yeah.
There will be more coming up. 10 is pretty good.
Numbers are just numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Just because this one is two numbers combined into one number doesn't make it any more special.
But if you dream about a number, something might be going on there.
Yeah. If you dream about a lot of numbers, it might be some weird Tetris effect thing.
Oh yeah.
You're probably an accountant or like a coding person or something.
Or you have a big math test coming up. If you dream about the number 10 after listening to this episode, that just means you really liked it and it's on your mind.
Yeah. And we'll try our best right now to do that, to make this a dream-worthy episode.
Another stumbling over ourselves today.
Yeah.
Well, you just got back from a vacation.
Yes.
Gotta get back on real world time, not island time.
Yeah, I've been on island time for the last week and a half, and even right now I'm kind of on island time.
Just like cool, laid back, in your element, relaxed energy. I love what you're bringing to the podcast.
I'm chilling. I'm ready to fish. I didn't do any fishing on the trip, but I'm just in general ready to fish, ready to soak up the rays.
Fishing isn't about catching fish. It's about the mindset.
Yeah. And I mean, we're all kind of fishing all the time.
If you really think about it.
Yeah. Well, while I was on my vacation, I had quite a few dreams.
Really? Multiple?
Yes.
That's exciting.
Would you like me to talk about some of them?
I would love to hear about them.
Cool. Okay, so this first one I had like the first night of the trip, and potential spooky warning for people that don't like spiders.
Oh boy, not another spider dream.
It's very short, but it's got a spider in it, so just in case. It was a very simple dream, just that there was just in my room. I think it was just my room here, even though I was in a new location. I was at a house, but it was just that on the wall of my room there was this huge spider, and it was like dome shaped. It had like a dome shaped body, like half an onion. Like it was just a huge big spider.
Creepy.
And that's it. That's it.
And you just like saw it and you were like, whoa.
Yeah. I wrote down that it kept trying to follow me, but I really remember it just being on the wall, so I don't know why I wrote it like that. But maybe just following me around on the ceiling or something.
Yeah, spooky.
But yeah, that's that one. So
cool.
If you're if you're listening and you're scared of spiders, the spider part is over.
We're safe now.
Yeah. And then I had two other ones. They're both kind of short ones, but I will do my best to make them entertaining. Another one I had, it actually took place in little old Belchertown.
Yeah, right. Woo, Belchertown.
I always forget which street it is, but it's the one going from the Common down to like where Checkers is. I don't know if that's North Main Street or West Main Street. Oh yeah,
I always thought that was just North Main.
North Main Street, yeah. So it's just like a hill. It's like a big old steep hill going down. But it was just a pretty short dream of me like walking with my girlfriend. And then there was just like this group of guys behind us like harassing us. And that was it. And I was like, hey, stop it. Or something.
You know those roving gangs of Belchertown hooligans that are always around. That's funny.
Just a weird like short little dream.
Yeah.
And then the third one. So this one I actually had like right after I got back. So I don't know. I don't know if it counts, but
I think so. You're still on island time right after you get back.
So yeah, I'm still on island time. So it was a dream. It took place in like a classic like 50s style diner, kind of like checkered floor and like the kind of chrome stuff on the walls, bright colors. And I went out to eat with some friends, and they all it was like we sat at like the like bar area or like the counter area, and they all got their food, and then I was still waiting, but they all like left the restaurant because they got their food. They're just like waiting outside. So I was still waiting to get my food, and it was like there was a few open seats, but I had like open spots on either side of me, but there was like a group of people to my right, I think. So there's like me and then an open seat and then like 2 or 3 people. And then to my left, there's like a bunch of open seats. And then this group of like 5 people comes and they sit to the left of me. But then there's like one guy who like would sit where I was sitting. And he's like, this is going to be my seat. Like he just said that to me. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I'm like, dude, you could just ask. Like, you don't have to be a dick about it. But he just, the way he said it was just like, this is going to be my seat.
A very powerful move.
Yeah, and then I think I just woke up after I was like, you could just ask, like it doesn't matter. Like I'm just waiting for food, but yeah, I think
That's wild.
Yeah, I think that's about it though. And then I don't know.
That's quite a collection though for a short period of time.
Yeah. So one just a big spider, and then 2 others of getting confronted by people, kind of.
Yeah. That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Interesting collection for sure. That's funny.
Thank you.
Would you say that that's more like frequent than you usually remember your dreams? Like that many in that like span of time?
A little bit, yeah.
Because I feel like my average is probably like 1 notepad worthy dream a month or less.
Yeah. No, it definitely felt like more. And that later, when we get to the dream fact, is kind of what that's about.
Foreshadowing.
Yes.
Well, I have a dream for you that I had earlier this month. A new one.
Ooh.
I know I've been doing a lot of vintage Alice dreams the last few episodes, but I had a pretty interesting one on June 4th.
So this is a new release.
Yes.
New show.
It's a little bit disjointed. It doesn't have like a very linear progression like some of my older dreams, but it had some really interesting like world physical mechanic kind of situation that made it worth writing down for me. So let's see. In this universe, some people had the power to enter other worlds through portals. The portals didn't lead to other universes. They all exist in the same place, but you can't get to the worlds that they lead to by regular means of travel. It's kind of like, you know, if you wanted to go to another country on Earth, but like it just wasn't physically attached to anything else. Like you couldn't fly there or go on a boat or walk there. You just had to use this portal system.
Okay. Like a different dimension or something?
Yeah, but like, I guess what I mean is like, it's not like a different universe or a different dimension. Like it's kind of like, you know, in a video game, like a Mario game where like it's all the same world, but like you have to like go to like the portal of a level to like go to that zone.
Right.
As opposed to like an open world game where you can kind of just like walk anywhere. You have to specifically go to these like hidden doors basically
to get to the new place. Okay,
and like not everybody can do it. Only some people can. You have to have like a staff or like a magic wand or something that lets you do it. And I don't know if it's like the staff that has the power or if like you also have it. Like I wasn't sure if like if you gave somebody your magic wand, would they be able to do it? And there are certain ways you can enter the worlds. Some portals to specific worlds exist in multiple places, and you have to know where those hidden locations are. They could be hiding anywhere, like inside a waterfall, deep in a forest, or even behind a dumpster in a city. There was a secret pool that was also a portal to a kind of hub world area in the sky that had floating islands that are portals to all the known lands. The portals here looked like miniature representations of the lands that they led to. You had to dive into the pool until you came out the other side, like going into the reflection of the sky only to find yourself actually there among the clouds. You also have to dive into the island portals. They're small, not much wider than a human body, and they feel kind of like pushing through cool, slippery mud. Some of the lands were elemental representations, like winter or like lava, things like that. Some of them were also just sort of like regular, just different places. I recall seeing an island portal that looked tropical, with colorful big cat-like creatures roaming on it. I was still learning how to travel between these worlds, and I remember floating in a hub world and trying to figure it out. Someone I recognized was there and offered to help me, but I was reluctant. Meanwhile, I had a 3-bedroom apartment in one of the more nondescript lands in a city. I was employed by some vaguely malicious agency, but being a portal traveler made you desirable for certain kinds of jobs, like being a spy, an assassin, a thief, or someone to harvest rare resources from the other lands. I don't really remember like what my specific job was, but it was like, you know, probably one of those things. The agency was based in the Winterland, and there was a woman there and some kind of humanoid tiger creatures that ran it. They wore green and black, and everything there was veiled in darkness. I remember having an argument with her. Some vague threats passing between us, either about her stealing my wages or me generally disagreeing with her company's practice. I left and went to meet with some friends in a big studio space. There were families and children there doing some kind of class. While there, I had a vision that the woman who employed me sent one of her minions to break into my apartment. I don't remember if it was like I had this vision, I knew that it was actually happening, or that it meant that it was going to happen in the future. I'm not really sure like how I interpreted it, but I knew they were going to like break in and maybe like steal my stuff or like find something to like blackmail me. I don't know. It was whatever in response to that argument we had earlier. I ran to find the secret pool of all the portals, and somewhere along the way I met 2 other people who were conspiring against the women's employment agency too. We found a dark alleyway in the winter world, and began some kind of plan to destroy her agency. And at some point, one of the leaders of the winter world found us, a rugged Santa-like figure, but more militaristic, wearing the dark greens and blacks of the Winter City officials. We felt threatened at first and tried to capture him before he could ruin our plans, and then found out he was trying to get rid of the agency as well.
Oh.
He explained that he couldn't destroy it outright because the agency had more wealth and power than the actual government of the Winterland, and thus had more control and allies, so he needed to do something that wouldn't be traced back to him. We reluctantly accepted him into our plans, as he would be extremely useful, but I threatened that we would have no mercy on him if he betrayed us. We all figured out our positions in the plan and split up through various portals, but I think I woke up after that because I don't remember what we did. We just sort of like made this plan to like destroy the evil agency. We like split up, and I think that was it.
With Santa.
Yeah, he was sort of like he had like a big gray beard and was like very, you know, sort of like imposing, but he was wearing like a dark green and black kind of like military outfit. It was very spooky.
Very cool.
Yeah, the portals were fun.
Was it like you did a lot of that, or you just like, that was like a world rule that you just knew of?
Kind of both. I remember diving through the pool to that like sort of hub world area, and that was sort of just like going through water. Like you kind of like held your breath, and it did the sort of like, you know, you dive into it down, but when you come out the other side, you're like up.
Okay.
If that makes sense, like a weird shit like change, and you're like just sort of in the sky. So I did that, and then I walked through a few like regular portals, and that was just sort of like stepping through a opening.
Okay. Yeah.
But I remember I went into, I think, to get to the Winterland at the very end, because I knew that they were gonna like break into my apartment. I went through the island portal version, not the like door version, and that was like, they're small, and you have to just sort of like squeeze through them, and it just feels like you also have to kind of like hold your breath. It feels like you're going through like a physical substance, not just like going through a door, and then you just come out the other side.
Weird.
So cool. I only did it a few times, but it was a cool mechanic.
That's very cool. Yeah. It's like a Minecraft portal.
Oh, like the
No, not really.
No, I haven't. The Nether, you just sort of like stand there and it teleports you,
Yeah.
which is also a cool mechanic. But yeah, it's funny. I can't remember. I could probably check on my phone, but I've been recently reading the his Dark Materials series by Philip Pullman, The Golden Compass. And
Don't even get me started on the Golden Compass.
Why?
I remember I didn't like it as a kid.
Oh no, I wasn't
But it
allowed
was-
to read it.
Oh. I feel like it was like a required reading or something. Like my mom got it for me and she wanted me to read it, and I was like, it was like the first time I was like, I don't like this book, I don't want to read it.
That's so funny because I wanted to read it because it had talking animals, and my mom was like, "You can pick something else at the book fair," but I feel like I didn't read it until after I had, because I read them this month, but I don't think I started them until after I had that dream. But it's really funny because there's a lot of like portal making and jumping mechanics in that series that are sort of similar. So I don't know if there was some sort of like influence happening there.
Interesting.
Anyway,
The Golden Compass. Don't even get me started on the Golden Compass.
that's for another podcast.
Yeah. What is? Sorry to take away from the dreams, but
No, it's okay.
What does the compass do again? Or is that a spoiler?
I mean, they learn it pretty early on.
There's like
but
there's animals on it, right?
Yeah, it like tells the truth.
Oh.
Like it's basically like Siri.
Oh.
It's just like you ask it like, "Hey, what is this thing?" And it's just like, "Here's the answer."
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyway.
The Golden
Hey,
Compass.
I heard that you might have today's dream fact, because I looked around and I can't find mine anywhere.
Oh no. Yeah, well, while I was on island time, I was on the beaches, and I was finding shells. I went to Shell World.
Shell World.
While I was, yeah, it's just
Wait,
like a gift. Shell
it's just like a gift store?
It's just like a normal like store.
Is it mostly shells though?
Yeah, a lot of shells. I got a
Okay.
shell at Shell World.
That's very cool.
Did I show you it?
Can I see it?
Yeah. This is gonna be awesome for the viewers at home.
No, I can describe it. It's
Listeners.
it looks sort of like a conch shell, and it's got these really cool brown stripes on it that look like mountain ranges.
Yeah,
And it's
they
very
do.
big. It's like bigger than Trent's hand,
It's like a large. It's like a softball.
or like a very small
Softball
football.
size. Can I talk? I'm talking into the shell. I
No,
don't know
that's
what that
cool.
sounds like.
It sounds very cool. It sounds like
Yeah.
you're stuck inside of it.
It's like a good size. You can, if I hold it a certain way, it's like a glove almost.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
I
You
could
could punch somebody
someone
with
and
that
It
once.
would probably break the shell. Yeah.
That's really cool.
But anyway,
So you were
while
at
I-
Shell World.
before I was at Shell World, I was on the beach and I was digging up and I found a dream fact.
Oh, whoa.
And it's about traveling places, and I don't know if you've experienced this. I actually just talked to my roommate about it, and she said she hasn't really had it, but I've noticed for myself at least, when I go like to a hotel or if I like sleep in a new place, that I'll have a lot of dreams.
Just like a higher frequency of them.
Yeah. Do you have that?
Huh.
Do you know?
I want to say yes, but I can't back that up with any like specific examples. But I do know that when I'm in a new place, I have a harder time sleeping.
Yeah.
And even if I'm comfortable, like my body is just on alert. And I feel like sometimes when I have a hard time sleeping and I'm just doing that sort of like in and out kind of sleep, I definitely have more weird dreams.
And that's pretty much what the dream fact is. It's just that like when you're in a new location sleeping, it's just like your brain is kind of like almost threatened. It says like evolutionary theories emphasize the need to feel safe, like so we can sleep comfortably. But so it's like you're kind of like in a new place and you're not totally sure of the environment, so you kind of like are more prone to wake up due to little things like little sounds or like temperature or whatever. So like those kind of changes in your environment from what you're used to make it so that you do wake up a little more often. So even if you're in REM sleep, you're more easily awoken from it.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah. I read that from a few different articles. What were we going to say? Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, I feel bad I can't really say for sure if this is an experience for me, but I am traveling next weekend. So when we come back for the next episode in 2 weeks, I will report back. I'll try to remember when I go next weekend to pay special attention to if I dream more or not. But I will be sleeping in a different place for 2 nights while I'm camping. So I'm curious to see if I'll have either just like more dreams or like weirder dreams.
Yeah, definitely do. Because that actually just reminded me, last time I was camping, it was super windy. So like there was a side of the tent that was like flapping really loud. So I kept waking up, and I remember like just having tons of dreams. Nothing that I remember, but just like a bunch of really like quick little ones or little things. I was like, ugh.
I think that's probably what it is for me, where it's like I'm probably having more of them, and they're strange, sort of like, fever dream-esque, like you're not sleeping well. But I think because of that, I don't really remember them.
Yeah.
I feel like when I have a comfortable sleep, when I can like really like be in REM for a while and have a big long dream, I'm more likely to remember it. But I will bet you that I have experienced that phenomenon before. Oh, that's really cool.
That even reminded me of another thing. When I was on vacation, there was one night where I just kept like, it's like the thing where you like wake up and you're like, I'm just gonna sleep more, and then you fall back asleep.
Yeah.
And you have like a dream, and it's like it feels like it's been an hour, but it's been 2 minutes. Yeah. Like I had that one night, and I didn't write it down. But yeah, I had a bunch then. But then another thing I was gonna say about this topic in general is I looked at a couple different articles, and most of them said kind of what I mentioned, that it's like you're kind of not totally like comfortable in your location. But there was like one specific article that was like, because you're relaxed and you're on vacation, you're just going to dream more. And I was like, that's not really what everything else is saying.
Yeah, that feels, I don't know. Because like, I have a good time when I'm on vacation, but I can't make my body not be like, you're in a weird place, Yeah.
And then another part of it too, I think, is like, when you're on vacation, usually you're doing like different stuff. Like you're in a new place, like you're probably swimming more than you usually do, or you're hiking more than you usually do. So your brain is like, it's like processing all this like new stuff, and it's like, all right, this is cool. So like your brain's just kind of really active just during vacation in general. Kind of, I don't know. I don't know if that's just kind of me making an assumption of it, but that's kind of how I would interpret it too.
Well, that makes me really curious now to know if, like, because I know that there is, like, an ongoing conversation about, like, having a very repetitive or monotonous lifestyle, like having the same job every single day for years and years and years is, like, generally not very good for your brain. Because your brain, like,
needs stimulation.
It needs to have like new things to like so that parts of it don't like die off, and it can help you like have better memory and like just like, I don't know, the ability to still think clearly as you get older. But I'm curious if like people who have maybe a more repetitive lifestyle or don't do a lot of new things, if they dream less than people who do lots of different things all the time. Maybe I'll look into that for next week's dream fact.
I don't know. That's a good idea.
Something would be, because my automatic assumption would be like, maybe they dream less, or maybe they only dream about like one type of, like going to their job, or less types of things. But
I don't know.
I don't know.
From personal experience, I know both of my parents have worked pretty much the same jobs their whole life, but my mom has a lot of dreams, and my dad, like, he's like, yeah, I don't dream. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be one of those things where there's just no correlation, and it just has to do with like genetics and just like how your brain works, and if you write down your dreams a lot or not, or if you have a good memory, or and It might not be related at all, but I'll do some research.
And that could also just be my parents too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad's just like, I just don't dream. I don't know.
I've definitely met people who just like don't dream.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't know. It could just be like, that's just you.
Mm.
But I don't know. I feel like so many of my dreams, the reason I've read so many more old dreams on this podcast so far is because I have a lot more of them than new dreams.
Mm.
Like, most of what I'm drawing from are from, like, college and, like, before college.
Yeah.
So, you know, early, like, preteen years to, like, end of college. I have a huge chunk of, like, dream journals and notes and drawings or whatever. And then, like, after I started, like... And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my job. But after starting a regular 9 to 5, that was, like... much more straightforward and scheduled than like any other period of time in my life. I feel like I started dreaming way less, and it could be because I'm more tired. I mean, it's definitely, my life is more exhausting now. I have a lot more responsibilities, and I don't have time, you know, to relax as often. So it's usually just like I get in bed and I pass out. So that could be it too. But I definitely dream, like, my big exciting dreams way less now.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I'll do some research on that.
Mine are kind of a mix. The ones that I read are usually a mix of like old ones and newer ones. But I don't have a normal 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We should poll our friends.
Yeah. Well,
because like I've got a bunch of friends that work normal 9 to 5s, and then I have a bunch of like content creator people that just kind of do whatever every day. So I could probably ask around.
Any of our listeners, if you have any sort of thoughts on this, if you work a 9 to 5 or don't work a 9 to 5, and you feel like you have more or less dreams than a period of time in your life where maybe things are different, or compared to your friends that have a different lifestyle than you, write us. We're curious to know.
Yeah.
We could do our own study.
Yeah.
Speaking of writing us in, we have a couple great submissions for this week.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do.
Do you want to read the first one?
Yes. Yeah, sure. All right. So this first one comes to us from Sep. I think, has Sep written to us before? That sounds familiar.
I think they sent us one of their childhood dreams. For the baby episode.
Okay. And Sep says, "Hello, Alice and Trent. I just wanted to submit a dream. In my dream, I was in a video game. Not any particular one, but it was kind of obvious judging from my surroundings. Everything was a low-quality 3D model and also kind of pixelated. Kind of like Minecraft, but not exactly. Even though I never got to see myself from the outside, I just knew that I was an eel. I was very short and it was very difficult. I'm not sure where exactly I was, but I think it might have been a bank. The floors and most things were white and there were people. None of them seemed to mind me though. The weird thing is, the whole place was filled with water and these people had no trouble breathing in it. I didn't do much the whole dream, just hung around. However, towards the end of my dream, I started running out of breath and woke up. Turns out I'd been holding my breath the whole time, because I was underwater." Sep.
Thank you, Sep.
Yeah.
Eel dream.
It's funny that as the eel, you're the one that needed to breathe, but the
I
people
know,
didn't.
I was just gonna say, you probably were fine, but... I think that's really funny.
Yeah.
There's something to me that's very relatable about being in a dream and not being able to, like, see yourself, but just, like, knowing that you're something else. That's happened to me before.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, somehow I just know that I'm a different person, or this or that. And I just love the realization of just like, all I know is that I'm an eel. And I'm short, and it's very difficult.
I'm an eel.
So good. Thank you, Sep.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to read one from Thomas. I don't know if I've read... This might be a new listener email. We got it a while ago, but I read it halfway through and was like, oh, I gotta put this in the podcast, and then just we got too many or I forgot about it or something. So, thank you, Thomas, for this. Thomas writes, "Hey guys, love the podcast, and I wanted to share my own dream. This is a dream I had a while ago. I think it was around 2018. I found it in my notepad, so I figured I'd clean it up a little and send it to the show. This dream is a little complicated, so I hope I can explain it well. I was in my childhood home in the living room sitting on the floor. There was a video game I was playing on an unfamiliar console. Every time I failed the game, the whole thing restarted. I remember that around me, the living room kind of faded to black. There wasn't a world outside, just me, in a room. When I played the game, I was inside of it like virtual reality. The objective of the game wasn't clear, so I had no idea. At first, it just seemed like a life simulator. You just buy stuff, work, and live. Most of the time staying in a mostly white bedroom. You'd work, socialize, and buy things on the same laptop. The room was barren, just a laptop, a desk, and a bed. Everything else had to be bought with in-game money. There were different options of things to buy, sort of like the same items with different skins. A pink desk, a desk with lightning patterns on the outside, etc. There was this company called Glow Eye Hardware. Everything you could buy had a cheaper Glow Eye alternative option, so obviously I used it. Why buy an $80 TV when I could buy a green $30 one? When I bought the TV, a green eye appeared on the wall when I went to sleep, and it wouldn't go away. I knew this was bad. It felt like I lost the game by selecting the cheaper option.
No.
The loop would abruptly end, and I would wake up at the start of the game in a different body with a different voice. This happened like 4 times. The dream looped and looped. At the beginning of each loop, I'd retain certain memories, but I'd lose others. In the 5th loop, I don't know why, but I got expensive stuff from the other companies instead of the cheaper ones. I wondered in my head, hey, why am I wasting all this money and working overtime when I can just get Glow Eye stuff? And the part of me that wasn't me, I guess, said something along the lines of, I don't want an eye watching me while I sleep. Finally, after 5 loops, a part of my memory was reminding me to not get the Glow Eye option. There was a lot of internal dialogue in that dream, with what felt like a different person. I wanted to get the cheap Glow Eye choices, but still, a part of myself wouldn't let me. Eventually, at one point, I got one Glow Eye hardware item. It was a cable box. As soon as I plugged it in, a green eye appeared on the box. Instinct kicked in, and I quickly unplugged the cable box. The eye went away, and then it came back, and I destroyed the cable box. The dream starts not to make any more sense at this point, but that's as far as the coherent parts go. I do remember there was this huge battle sequence where I fought aliens with a kick-ass soundtrack in the background. Anyways, keep up the podcast. Smiley face.
Very good.
Thanks, Thomas.
That's a spooky one.
I just had this like visual in my head of like the more stuff you buy, like the more of these like glowing eyes just like appearing all over your room and looking at you or something. It's like very spooky. Like you can pay less money, but we'll be watching you.
But at what cost?
Yeah. Very spooky.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Thomas.
Maybe the aliens that Thomas was battling at the end of the dream were like the people who made the Glow Eye hardware.
Whoa. You're getting revenge.
Yeah.
Very good. Then I have another one. And this one comes from Brian. Brian wrote a bunch of like shorter emails, so this is one that I really liked a lot, so I'm going to read this one. And Brian says, last night I had a dream where I was playing baseball. Every few seconds there would be a glitch or shift in the game where the players or the ball would phase or shift, kind of like a video game glitch. The batter and the pitcher were in reverse spots, and I was trying to figure out all the rules of the new game. Not much else to remember. I'll try to remember more of my dreams. Not very interesting lately, though. Enjoying the podcast, Brian. Thank you, Brian.
I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like that one.
Thank you, Brian.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, no, it's fun to imagine, and it does kind of feel like a similar format to a stress stream, where it's like you're trying to do something, and the way that you understand it keeps changing.
Yeah.
Just like you're trying to hit the ball, but now the bat's not in your hand anymore, and the ball's somewhere else, and the pitcher's in the wrong spot, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting.
I think it's fun. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a fun way to play baseball if you could just change the rules every few seconds. Challenge baseball.
It reminds me of a movie that I watched. I cannot remember I think it's called Infinite Football, and it's like it's just this movie about this guy trying to pitch like a different version to play like soccer or football, and I don't know, it just reminds me of that, like just changing things like very slightly, and it's like it's a new game now with new rules.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Infinite baseball.
Yeah. But very good. Thank you, Brian.
I thought it was funny. I know I mentioned it before we started recording, but Brian, Thomas, and Sepp all had dreams that had sort of video game-like mechanics. Either they were in a video game or something was behaving like a video game.
Yeah, glitching.
I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like a very mild version of the Tetris effect.
Maybe.
I mean, think about it. Like, lots of people in our generation and like in generations above and below us play lots of video games. And even if you're not playing it to the extent where you're getting like a Tetris effect style, like compulsive dreaming experience, I feel like it's probably enough of a effect that your brain is just used to these sort of like motions of like how video games work, and like the idea of playing one or being in one is just like, you know,
or things like dying and coming right back, like respawning.
Yeah.
Or glitching, things like popping in and out of reality.
Yeah. I don't know, something interesting I noticed.
That makes sense, yeah.
And I have one more submission from Dream Team Temple member Jeremy.
Yes. Jeremy.
another Jeremy classic. And Jeremy writes, "Hey you two, I hope all is going well. The last couple of weeks, I've been dreaming that I only have one boot on. Like, I'll be walking around in a public space and then realize that one foot is bare and the other one has on a boot. Do I take off the other boot and carry it around? Will that be more suspicious? Do I pretend like I don't notice? Last night, I just tried keeping everyone on my left-hand side and stood in profile so that they could only see the boot side. People noticed, and I woke up sad because my wife was embarrassed that I forgot my boot. Sweet dreams, Jeremy."
Oh no.
Sounds like a recurring dream. I like the implication that you've been trying different solutions to this problem every time that it happens.
Yeah.
You'll have to let us know if you figure out how to handle the one boot situation.
Yes. I'm curious, is this like a stress dream?
It feels like a stress stream to me. The fact that it keeps happening and that there's this sort of like bizarre problem that you can't solve.
Mm-hmm. And people are like, you're doing something weird. Why are you being weird?
Why do you only have one boot on? I feel like I would have something like this where I would just be really stressed out about like where my other boot is. Like I would probably conclude that I lost it. Very, very funny. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yes.
I hope that you find
Thanks,
your other boot.
In the real world too.
Yeah, I wonder if...
Wait, did you actually lose a boot in real life?
Has Jeremy lost an actual boot in real life? Or maybe...
Check your shoes.
Maybe Jeremy has a pair of boots that he really loves and is just really nervous about losing one of them.
It's probably that.
Boot-related anxiety is very pervasive these days.
89% of all people have it.
You're not alone, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to all of the listeners who wrote in with their dreams.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
And if you have a dream that you want to send to us, where should they send their emails?
You can send your emails to dreamteampodcastsubmissions@gmail.com.
Yes, please send us your dreams. It doesn't matter if you think it's interesting or not interesting, or if it's short or long, or if you had it 10 years ago or yesterday. We want to hear them.
For sure.
And yeah, let us know if you have any insight on frequency of dreams versus active lifestyle.
Yeah.
We're curious to know.
I'm curious too.
Or just like a time in your life where you dreamed a lot and then, or didn't, and then like something that you feel like changed that in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, getting a 9-to-5 job definitely changed it. I definitely dream way less now.
Yeah. Or like an event happened and you started dreaming more or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious.
Yeah, let us know.
Send us whatever you want about dreams.
Yeah. If you just have something you want to say, a comment, a question, or maybe a themed episode you'd like us to do. Shoot us an email. We'll definitely read it.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think I have some ideas for themed episodes I want to do, but
me too, yeah.
If there's anything our listeners specifically want to hear us talk about, or like, something that could be a dream fact that you've always wanted to learn more about, feel free to let us know.
Yeah.
And you can check out our Instagram too, which is at Dream Team with Alice and Trent on Instagram. And we'll be posting drawings that people make of their dreams, visual aids, and other related imagery that has to do with each episode that we put out.
Oh yeah. I always love seeing the doodles people send us.
I know. Please, if you do have drawings that go with your dreams, don't feel pressure to make them, but if you have any, we love to see them.
Yes.
Or like maps or diagrams. I know people record their dreams in all sorts of different ways, so
yeah.
Feel free to send that in too.
Definitely.
But until then, we hope that you get good sleep.
Sleep good, everyone. Have some good dreams.
Mm-hmm. And if you're in a new location, remember that you're safe, but you might have more dreams than usual.
Yes. Tell your brain it's okay.
Mm-hmm. And write all those dreams down so that we can keep making our podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sweet dreams, everybody.
Sweet dreams.
Good night.
Good night. Hey, did you fall asleep during this episode? Wake up. It's the end of the episode. Wake up.